Hey, I about Sam's adventure and I will travel Central America with my boyfriend for 4 months very soon. I know I've been silent on this account, but I decided why not share my travel experience, my upcoming trip. I want to talk about Central America a lot and I thought why not share that with you guys because maybe I can give you some helpful inspirations. Maybe I can inspire you to travel to Central America too, or in general to do your first trip. And before I start traveling, there's always some stuff I need to remind myself of before I go, because otherwise I maybe have problems on the road or I'm maybe not even able to travel there because there are things you need to check before you go. I don't want this video to be super long, so that's why we jump right into it. Travel reminder number one is your passport, or I would say document, because of course you don't need for every country your passport. It always depends on which nationality you are and which country you want to go. For example, I'm German, so if I want to go to Spain, I don't need my passport. It's enough if I have my ID card, which is like a small card, because Spain belongs to the European Union, exactly the same like Germany, so for me it's easy to just go by card. But now I want to go to Mexico City and that's where I need my passport. And the passport is my entry ticket to the world, I would say. It's really important to check on this before you start traveling. Doesn't matter how long or where you go, if you go backpacking or if you go with the suitcase or if you go on a cruise, it doesn't really matter. You just have to check if everything's all right with your passport. So I have this passport cover, passport holder, so it doesn't really get damaged, but the first thing you need to check on your passport is it still valid? So I checked mine's valid till 2035, and that's because I just renewed my passport this year. So I went to the city and I got myself a new one, and now my passport is valid 10 years because I'm older than 25. Before that, I think it was like 5 or 7 years, I'm not sure, but now it's 10 years valid. So I also decided to get the one with the more pages because I will traveling a lot, and I thought it would be a shame if my passport will be full before the validation, before it's not valid anymore. And another thing about the validation is you need to check if it's valid more than 6 months, because for most of the countries you have to have a passport which is valid more than 6 months. I mean, of course there are countries where you can go where it just have to be the duration during your trip, but all in all, the best thing is to have it 6 month valid, because then you can nearly travel to every country in the world with your passport. And please just know that I'm talking about my entry tickets, or like how I can get there, because of course I'm not sure how to talk about a British passport, as I don't have one. I only have the German passport, so I can only just talk about my experience and how about I handle to get in those countries with my German passport. Then after checking the validation, just check if it's full. Mine's new, so like I said, I have enough pages. I only been to Morocco in March with this one, so I have 2 stamps in this, but just check if you have enough space for the stamps, because not in every country you will get a stamp, but in most of the countries. So just make sure you have place for them in your passport, because otherwise you maybe are not allowed to enter the country. Then you also need to check if it's damaged or broken. And you probably see this right away if there's like a page torn out or something, you just have to check this, because some immigrations say if you have a damaged passport you cannot enter the country. So please make sure that your passport is in a solid state, that it's in a good condition, and that is valid. So I know I have a passport holder, so mine doesn't really get damaged. Of course, when I have the immigration, I need to get it out because they need to see the full passport, but with this it doesn't really get damaged before, so I can just recommend having like such a passport holder. Number 2, my number 2 travel reminder is the vaccination and the health insurance. So of course, if you're traveling long time, you need to check if you have the vaccination. In Germany, we have such a book with all the vaccinations. And I know I got all the vaccination because I checked this before with my doctor. So what I can recommend is if you want to go on a long trip, or if you want to go somewhere where you don't really have the vaccination, because in Germany we don't need every vaccination. I also need, like in South America or in Africa, for example. They're not necessary. They're like, I think we don't really have necessary vaccinations here, but like recommendable vaccinations. And I mean, of course, those are not every country says those are necessary vaccination, because otherwise you can't enter. But some of them are, so please just check, and they're recommendable. So I can recommend going to a doctor where they do the vaccination. Please check, because not every doctor is allowed to, for example, do the yellow fever vaccination or like other travel vaccinations. So just check for a doctor who does all those. I went to a doctor here in Paderborn, which is specialized on travel vaccinations also, and I showed her my my vaccination pass, and I said, I want to go to this country. What do I need and what is possible? And please make sure that you do this in advance, because for example, I mean, I've had time, I had a lot of time, but I've been to Greece and I didn't want to get vaccinated in Greece. I wanted to do it in Germany, and that's why they had to do, like with me, a short vaccination thing, which is also possible in a long vaccination. So I've been there every second day. I got a vaccination here, I got a vaccination there. So I've been like I felt like I was I really felt awful like with the old vaccination, but I felt awesome afterwards, because I've done everything and I don't need to care about this before going there so much spontaneous. Then the other thing I was talking about is the health insurance. So of course I have like normal insurance here in Germany, but it doesn't cover if I'm outside of Germany. So I need to check for one who is possible in the other countries. So I just checked mine on ADAC. So there you can go for long-term travel insurance, which is nice because you can just check 4 months, 3 months, and you can just put it, and it takes like 5 minutes. And because I'm already having their one for like normal traveling, like for 3-4 weeks or something, I just need to pay the other price for the long-term travel insurance, which is totally fine. So it took me like 5 minutes. I will maybe put it also in the info box for those people who are German and maybe want to do it. Like I said, I can only talk about the German experience, what I can do as a German girl for my traveling. But of course, I think in every other country there's possibility, and I just want to talk about the normal travel reminders. Then the third thing is visa and entry fees. So just check if you only need your passport or if you need visa. For example, I go to 9 countries and I checked I don't need to do any visa. I don't need a visa for those because my German passport is enough for this, but I need to do like a digital registration before, and I also have to pay an entry fee or an exit fee in those countries. And I put a list where I go, and then I see. So I also check like if I want to go, like for example, when I went to Laos, I needed a visa on arrival, and that was totally easy to do. I had my guide with me, so it was totally fine. But just check that before you go, that you have everything you need. Maybe you also need for those visa on arrival your passport photo. So I just show you mine. This is my photo. I have this one just in case I need it, and I needed it there for Laos and Cambodia, and it was super easy, but just have this. And also check if you need money for the visa on arrival, how much it costs. Most of the time you can pay in dollars, but if you pay in dollars, please check that you have dollars who are which looks great, because if you have dollar which are damaged or you can't really read it or old, then they may be not accepted. So please make sure about this, check the price, check your visa regulation. And also like the entry and exit fee. That's my travel reminder number 3. My travel reminder number 4 is safety. Okay, so this is a thing I always check. We have in Germany a site where you can check it. It's called Auswärtiges, and then you can check like the travel safety, and you can check normal information also about visa regulation, entry fee. It's a really good site where they will upload everything. Of course, they say please go to the site of the country to be aware of this, but most of the time they're like correct and I can check on this. So of course I check, is the country where I want to travel safe? Because you don't want to travel to a country where you're afraid that you're in a war zone or something. I mean, of course you can check if you're like, oh, I don't care, it's also totally fine. But for me, I always check if it's okay to travel there. For example, if at the moment there's like a typhoon or something the whole time there, maybe it's not the best option to go there at the moment. Or if it's like a war zone, maybe it's not the best option to go there at the moment. But please check that for yourself. Like I have the site, I will recommend, I put it also in the info box down below for all the German people that you can check on. But like I said, I'm probably sure every government in every other country has such a site to say if it's safe to travel to that country or if it's not safe, because they give like warning, they say like warnings for like regions or for like the whole country, or what you have to be aware of, what happened and stuff like that. They talk about crimes and everything. So it's a really good site to just get like yourself into the country before traveling there. And then travel reminder number 5 is I have to check if I have everything. So those are just my things I need to check. So the first thing is an ebook. I love to read and I love to travel, and I love, normally, as you can see here, I have books. I have a bookshelf. I have lots of normal books, but of course they take a lot of space in my luggage, in my backpack, so I can't take them with me. But this ebook, I have a lot of books on it and I can just read them as I want, and I can also read it in the bus. I can read it when the lights are out in the dark, because it's a really good thing. Before traveling I was against those, but I really I fall in love with this because it's really easy to travel around with. Then I also have, I just ordered new because I needed one again, is padlocks. Padlocks are for me like a game changer. So of course padlocks, when you have like your own stuff where you put, like you have a shelf where you put your luggage or your backpack, you want to have it safe. Or also I don't want anyone to open my backpack when it's like on the luggage belt or something, so I just put it. I mean, of course, if like the police officers needs to do it, they can just put it, but yeah, it's alright. So I have 10 of them. I also can link it down in the info box where I ordered them. Then the next thing I have, I never did this before, I always have a water bottle, but this is a foldable water bottle, so it doesn't take so much space. It's also plastic, so I'm not sure if I like it, and it also has like a thing where you can put it to your backpack. But yeah, a water bottle is really necessary. I most of the time have a different kind of shape of bottle, but this time I wanted to try this out. I also put it in the info box down below. Then I have a neck pillow. I cannot survive without a neck pillow, especially if I have long bus journeys, I have long flights or something, or I just want to feel comfortable and I want to sleep somewhere. I have this neck pillow. It's really a game changer for me. Then this is a thing, I know if you see it you think probably why it's so dirty, because I took it a lot. It's a beauty case, and the important thing about this beauty case is this thing, I can hang it. So I can hang it on a door or something, which is really useful. I can hang it somewhere because sometimes in the hostel you can hang something and then you can just put it out there. It was really nice. Or you can put your shower stuff in there and it's not on the ground or something, which is great. Also, one thing about the showers, I always have flip-flops with me, which I use for the shower because some showers can be really disgusting. And then one thing I really love are mesh bags. I'm a really tidy person. I love to have everything clean in order. I made myself in my head, and that's why I live for this mesh bags, because you can have your backpack, you can arrange your backpack like you want it in your head, which is really nice, and you can find everything right away, which is nice. And of course, if you want to backpack, you need a backpack. So I have mine from Decathlon, mine's like 50 liters, which I probably think is enough. I also have like this thing with my address on it, and of course, which is necessary, I also have a rain cape for the backpack, so it doesn't really get drenched full of water. But I really like this backpack, so of course if I want to backpack, I need a backpack, which is obviously, everyone knows that. So those are my 5 travel reminders. Of course there's a lot more you need to remind yourself maybe, or there's some things you want to think about. And I also will make a video about what I will pack for Central America in general, because of course you also need like medicine, you need like tablets or something, or stuff, a raincoat or something, and I will talk about that in another video. And I also will talk about my travel route. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. Hit the follow button to follow me along my upcoming journey about Central America. You can also follow me on Instagram and on TikTok, as I will talk about my journey on there too. I linked it in the info box down below, my channels, and I really hope to see you soon. Have a nice day. Bye!